So when it comes to selling products online, digital products are the best products because there's no worry about inventory, shipping, and you're basically creating a one and done product. However, it's very competitive and a lot of people are selling digital products. So in this video, I'm gonna break down some tips and tricks that I've used for my own products that you can apply to yours to hopefully make them sell better and look more professional and clean than your competitors. So let's jump in here and I'll show you how to elevate your products. So when it comes to digital products, there's a wide array of different things you can create, i.e. planners, calendars, invitations, organizers. So whatever you're selling, you can spin these tips to apply to whatever you're doing. All right, so for this video, I'm gonna be using Canva. And in my opinion, Canva is the best platform for designing digital products because it's free, they have a free version, it's cloud-based, and it's user-intuitive. So whether you're a beginner or an expert as far as designs go, you kind of have an even playing field for whatever skill level you have, just because it is that user-friendly. So if you do have an account, go ahead and log in to follow along. If you don't have an account, I've got a link in the description below that you can sign up for free for yourself, and we can go ahead and get started. So let's go ahead and create a new design, and just go up here to create a design. I'm gonna be using the planner size preset. It's just 8.5 by 11 standard paper. It's what I default to, it's what I am most comfortable with. And the first tip is something I always do when I start a new project, whether your customer will be using a digital version or a print version, regardless, I would still do this. So whenever you have an empty file, just go up here to File and make sure you show the rulers, margins, and print bleeds. Well, I would say just rulers and margins. And what this does is sets a ruler on the horizontal and vertical axis, and you can see this dotted line right here. This is the print margins. I believe it is 0.75 inches from the edge. And so that is pretty safe for home printing if people are printing these products. And I like to keep all of my artwork and elements within this margin just so it's universally applicable to whatever the customer is using. Now, if you don't like these margins, there is no way in Canva to change margins. But that being said, you can just use the rulers up here and say you want a half margin, just line everything up with the ruler and you're good to go. All right, so most digital products have lines that the customer can write on. So let's just go over here to Elements and search line and add a line to our document. And here are best practices of what I like to do. Unless you are creating this specifically for kids, I would always default to college ruled lines. That's just the standard lines on a paper for lined paper. And this gives the user enough room to write and enough room for you as the designer to add a whole bunch of things to the page. So let's change our line width. I usually keep it around 2 or 3. And just option click, drag, and shift. And whenever you drag a duplicate element, you can see this little ruler in between, and it shows how many inches there are between the document or the two elements. So college ruled paper is around 0.3 inches. You may not get it perfect, and maybe 0.299 like this, but just let go and you now have the proper width between those two lines. So as a good rule of thumb, I would just keep 0.3 inches between each line and then just keep doing that. You can see when you drag another one, 0.299, there you go. And then if you want to do 3 at a time, you can do that, and same concept applies. Sometimes it'll lock into place like this, sometimes it won't. Now, if you don't want to meticulously do that and you're kind of OCD and you're just like, oh man, I just want to do this really quick, I want to get this over with, what you can do is just kind of estimate and eyeball it. See, these aren't perfect, but don't worry, because what you can do is highlight all of these, go up here to position, and hit tidy up. And what that will do is evenly space all of the elements within each other. Now for this next tip, I'm gonna go to my Christmas planner. It is 72 pages, and so it kind of takes a while to look through it. And let's say you're creating a very long printable with either 50 to 100 pages, but regardless, you get to the end of it and you're like, oh man, I really don't like the order or positioning or some of the organization of your product. Luckily, there's a way to easily organize your products. So I've got my 72 page printable right here, and at the very bottom right hand corner you can see this square with the number 72. So that's the number of pages inside of a square. And if you click on this grid view, it pulls up kind of a thumbnail view of each of your pages, and you can scroll through and see all of the pages as a whole and just kind of get a bird's eye view of your product. From here, you can drag each page and kind of rearrange it. So if I want page 13 to be where 19 is, all I need to do is drag it and drop it, and you're good to go. And you can even do shift click for like multiple pages and drag all of those if you have like whole sections you want to rearrange. you're free to do that. So this is the best way to organize your products after you get done. You can also add pages between, like if you forgot something or if you think it's missing something, you can add a page. You can hit this 3-dot button and duplicate a page, delete it, hide it, everything you need from a bird's eye view for getting your file organized. Now, let's say you see this 72-page printable of mine and you're getting a bit overwhelmed. You're like, man, that is a lot of work. I really don't even know where to get started. So Canva has templates in place where you can kind of use those templates as a springboard for your whole product. So on the left-hand side over here, up here at the top, it says templates. And these templates are automatically sized to whatever file your size is, or size your file is. And you can search things that you're looking for. So if you're doing a calendar, an invitation, let's just do like a wedding invitation. Just search wedding and hit enter, and you can see a whole bunch of different wedding templates. Now, you may be tempted to look at these templates and be like, hey, that's pretty perfect right there. I'm just gonna sell this. Let me just warn you for a second. While you do have the rights to resell this if you have a Canva Pro account, I would not recommend just using templates and selling those directly, because most of the time the templates are only like 1 or 2 pages. There's not much substance to them, and likely someone else is doing that as well. So you're going to be fighting with the same product online. And I hope you can see where that issue lies. So what I would recommend, if you're just at a loss of where to start with a template just to get your inspiration and ideas across. And then once you have the template applied, you can actually go in here to the individual elements and change them to make them your own. So let's say you don't like the font, like this template uses Monsterrat, which is kind of like a 2019's font. So nowadays it's a bit outdated. I would recommend either like a Gill Sans or something more modern. So go here and change the font, change the color, the background, whatever you need to make it more personalized and customizable to your own design. Or if you go on the templates and say like, man, I really like that header right there, but I like this body right here, you can use both templates and use the elements of one or the other and kind of combine them together. Just make sure you're not using the templates as is. That's not very creative of you. Let your mind free and make some products of your own. But templates are a great place to springboard your whole design. In addition to templates, let's say you're making a multi-page document and you're doing a planner. Let's just pull this gratitude journal template right here. So again, I like all this stuff right here. I don't like the weather section, so I'm just gonna delete that and maybe bring up the notes and reminders. So you're free to customize it however you want. But with multi-page documents, you're gonna have different categories. And so let's copy this, delete all the elements below this, and create a second page for this printable. So this page could be I'm thankful for, something within the theme. What I would recommend is creating all the pages. Let's say you're doing a 20-page gratitude journal. I would create all 20 pages, insert the headers of what that subject of the page is going to be. That way you have kind of a basis on what's going to be on that page. And then go back to the template from the first page and say like, okay, I can reuse this element right here, go down to my I'm thankful for, and use this, I like to call them widgets, essentially just a bundle of content, and reuse this style for this as example. So I changed the header to I'm grateful for, and then I can duplicate this section and just have like a whole page of a bulleted list of things people can write that they're thankful for. So as you can see, I used the elements of the template, but I created a whole different page. But it looks, if you look at these pages side by side, you can tell they're of the same product. So that is how I would recommend using templates. If I went too fast and you're a bit lost, it just takes practice. And so get into a template, play around with it, and see how you can rearrange it to make a multi-page theme. Okay, so this next tip is something I would recommend everyone start doing. It's kind of on the verge of getting big. But if you start doing this now, you can still beat the crowd and have a unique product that people are searching for, but not a lot of people are selling. So when people sell digital products, usually they sell it to be printed or to use as a file. But actually, you can use your Canva file and go to share template link and get a link as for your document as a template. So what you can do is you can sell your product like the PDF where people can print it, but you can also attach the Canva link where they can kind of go in and change the headers, the colors, make it more customizable to them, which makes it more appealing of a product, and you can actually charge more for it. So people feel like they're getting a better deal when you add the Canva template in addition to the PDF. And this is really good for like printables, wedding invitations, anything where people want to get in here. So like, yeah, this wedding invitation, that'd be an awesome product to sell, where people can actually go in and customize it. And if you're wondering how to actually give that to your customer, since it is just a link for like Canva, or for like Etsy, if you're selling on Etsy, you need to upload a PDF or a document for people to download. So what I have done, and what I would recommend you do, is just create a little one-page PDF thanking the buyer for buying your product. And this is what mine looks like. It just says, thank you for your purchase of, and then insert title here. I actually filmed a video, which I would recommend y'all do as well, for how to use this product. And so like how to print, best practices for editing a Canva document, just a quick little introduction. Thank you for buying this product. And then if my products have a Canva link, what I've done is I've created a little section down here where people can click on this. I've added a hyperlink using this thing up here, and people can download the link or sign up for a Canva account right here. And then I like to say this template is not eligible for resale, so people can't take my work and resell it. That's not fair. So I would recommend you putting a little disclaimer like that too. But this PDF, I found it's a really good way to, one, actually get reviews. People appreciate this extra step that you do, and people love the Canva link. The next tip I have is for pro accounts only, for like this quick, easy button click. But if you have the free account, you can also do this. It just takes a bit more time. So right now it's 8.5 by 11 inches standard paper, but let's say they want like an A4 or an A5 paper size. What you can do is save this as a PDF, go up here to resize, and put your custom size in, or put a standard preset. Just go to copy and resize, and it will create a second document of the same artwork. Let me just do this for example. Copy and resize. It will create the same artwork, but as a different size. So this just adds more heft to your sell. So within your product description, you can say like A5, A4, 8.5 by 11 included. The more things you sell in the bundle, the more likely people are to buy. So it's just a one button click, and you can have two different sizes and sell them together. Sometimes the resize comes out a bit wonky. Just move the elements, kind of clean it up a little bit, and you should be good to go. But I think this one transferred pretty well. And like I mentioned before, these templates don't stay within the margin. If you want them in the margin, you can move things around so there's more room on the outside. But it really just depends on what you think your customer is going to do with it. Are they going to print it, or are they going to use it as a digital product? Okay, so my final tip is something I would recommend everyone do, and it is add a video or something to your product listings. So Etsy in particular, if you have a video applied to it, whenever someone hovers over the thumbnail, it'll play the video automatically. If you're on Shopify selling via email, video is just the most engaging form of interaction, and so I would really recommend you do it. And with Canva, it's super easy. So with the different pages here, I have my listing images, and I just took I took PNGs of my pages. I rearranged them, added a title, and just have a simple 3x4 product image. But on top of that, I can highlight every element on the page, go up here to, if yours doesn't have any features, it should say animate up here. Mine says rise because it has the rise animation. And you can apply animations, as you can see, to play on all the different elements. Now, if you click on the page and then click off, you can see the time the page is, so 2.5 seconds. That's the time it takes for all the elements to loop. And then right here, I have this one's 5 seconds. So if I go up here to play, just by adding standard animations, it's just one click again, you can hit play, and it makes my product images a video. And then that'll just keep looping, and I'll upload that with my products, and it just engages people better and catches their attention. So I've actually got a full video on how to do that. I'll link it probably up here, whatever side it is on YouTube, but you can check that out if you're more interested in the video and want more information about that. So with those tips, if you implement all those, you should get a pretty good listing. I've taken these all from the products that do well on my Etsy store. These are kind of some themes that I've seen that sell better. So hopefully if you apply all these, your products can sell better. And if you have any tips that I didn't mention that I may not know about, please let me know in the comments below. We can share them with each other and hopefully all grow to have better products. So that's it for this video. I appreciate you for watching. Thanks, and I will see you in the next video.